At last, it broke open. There was a warning on the internet. The deadline was about to expire, and in between a caption appearing on the feed and a flyer dropping. The biggest cultural reunion that hip-hop has been silently hoping for was just ignited by Remy Ma. And if you're prepared to see how the Bronx Empress turned a birthday celebration into a full-fledged cultural event, how 50 Cent quickly returned to the spotlight, and how every messy player who attempted to capitalize on this rivalry is now appearing incredibly small tonight, then fasten your seatbelts, for the following few minutes will reveal connections you were unaware existed. Please do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and send this video into the stratosphere before we go any further. Because every dirty character on the sidelines is already typing frantically, the comment sections are already scorching, the algorithm is already trembling, and the reality hits harder the louder this video gets. The entire game changed as soon as this flyer entered the time frame, so pay attention. The Bronx Empress is being honored like royalty tonight in Planet Hollywood Times Square, the loudest, brightest, and most cinematic block of New York City. Additionally, the carpet is set down as if she were entering her own coronation rather than just being rolled out. And listen, when someone has created the catalog that Remy has created, when someone has carried the torch for women in hip-hop the way Remy has done for more than 20 years, and when someone has persevered through all that the streets, the system, and the industry have thrown at her, and still emerged with bars that are sharper than the day she began. It's not a birthday celebration. This is a tribute for the entire city. With her brother Fat Joe expressing love, her brother Jada kissing her, and her best friend sharing the wedding reception video of the two of them dancing to Bry's Best Friend, as if it were their own anthem, the wonderful poured out for her in real time. DJ Clue is sending love, Fabulous is sending love, and so on. While she is still standing, still rhyming, and still untouchable, the entire Bronx, the entire New York, and the entire culture are lining up to give her flowers. Almost all of those wishes were reposted by Remy on her Instagram stories. However, tonight, a single repost caused the internet to split in two. At that point, the entire narrative takes a completely different turn, because a certain flyer appeared on the timeline in between the family wishes and the love taps. Everyone on the internet experienced the same shiver as soon as they saw the location and read the words, Planet Hollywood. Celebrate a celebrity's birthday on Saturday. An RSVP is required for free admission until midnight. 2 bottles for $500. Pre-order only. 136 West 42nd Street, Planet Hollywood Times Square, New York City. And you haven't been paying attention to what 50 Cent has been subtly developing behind the scenes for the past few months if your eyebrows did not rise the moment you read Planet Hollywood. Because Planet Hollywood is no longer merely a venue. 50 Cent's new throne is Planet Hollywood. 50 just signed a rumored 9-figure contract with Planet Hollywood, the nightlife empire, to serve as the launch pad for what he is branding as PH Live, the next phase of Curtis Jackson's corporate takeover. Therefore, the query wrote itself as soon as the location dropped, and anyone with 2 eyes and half a memory connected those 2 letters. Pete, did Remy Ma intentionally enter 50 Cent's stage on her own birthday in front of everyone? Remy responded to the question herself before anyone had a chance to finish typing it. Written in her own words on her own site 9 minutes before this breakdown, with a Statue of Liberty waving like a flag of victory in the caption's corner. Planet Hollywood tonight, New York City tag pitch live NYC, Remy tweeted. Then, like a microphone being gently set on the floor, she dropped 2 words next to a smiling emoji that caused the entire feed to explode. 50 syntactic music pieces. I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm finished. Because hip-hop has statements, captions, and signals that move through the genre like a flare in the night sky. This is the third type. A press release is not necessary for this kind of action. Everyone who has seen this culture over the past 20 years already understands what it means, so it doesn't require a podcast clip or a Breakfast Club meeting to explain itself. The final and most important question is whether or not we, the viewers, supporters, and witnesses, have pleaded with the algorithm for this precise frame. Are we going to receive the picture at last? Are Remy and 50 Cent going to be in the same photo under the same lighting on the same red carpet, grinning, cuddling, laughing, or even just standing close to one another? Because the algorithm fails if that image appears on the timeline tonight. The algorithm stops working. For a personal day, the algorithm files. I'm pleading with the photographers. I'm pleading with every camera in that structure. Please don't blink. I'm pleading with every phone in that VIP area. Don't turn away. The only frame the culture wants tonight is the one of the two of them, so don't get lost pursuing some D-list rapper next to the bar. I was about to finish that idea and lean away from the keyboard when I scrolled once more, and there it was. The same 50 that has been the algorithm's preferred weapon for the past 10 years was sent to Curtis, the man himself. 50 just shared the flyer again. Remy was just tagged by 50. 50 simply co-signed the entire evening with a straightforward repost that went viral on the timeline without the need for a caption, sub, or joke. The entire story that everyone had been promoting over the previous few years simply fell apart with that one click. For years, the loudest voices in the room attempted to persuade the public that there was an irreconcilable conflict between them, that they would never be able to share a building, a flyer, or a business endeavor in the same city on the same night. And that whole story was swept off the table tonight like crumbs off a tablecloth in the course of a single repost. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything that goes on behind the scenes. I'm not sure if they unblocked one another. I'm not sure if any calls were made. I'm not sure if it was just two grown adults in the culture determining that the wave is greater than the static, or if there were private meetings, business handshakes, or emails authorized by lawyers. What I do know is that it's not a coincidence that the two of them appear on the same flyer on the same night with the same intensity. With 50, it's never an accident. With Remy, it's never an accident. These two are among the most intelligent people in this entire society. Two individuals who are more knowledgeable about the algorithm than its creators. Two individuals who are aware that the internet stops scrolling as soon as they align on the same screen square. And that lineup is set for tonight. This Remy and 50 moment has 3 layers. To comprehend why this will reverberate across the culture for weeks, you must comprehend all 3. Since the venue is the message, it is the first layer. Remy is not merely hosting a party when she enters Planet Hollywood on her birthday. She is openly supporting the building where 50 recently planted his 9-figure flag. In front of the whole industry on the most intimate night of her year, it is a cosign of his business, his vision, and his invasion of New York nightlife. You don't just happen to do it. That is not a favor you do. You do that because you want the culture to know which side of the table you are on, and you truly respect the move. Since the caption is the receipt, it is the second layer. Remy did more than simply call out the location. Without a buffer, an intermediary, or manager-approved soft language, she posted 50's name in front of millions of people on her own platform. Every receipt is timestamped, and it is a direct signal sent in broad daylight. A woman of Ray's stature only gives that kind of signal when she is completely at ease and everyone in the room knows exactly what she means. The repost from 50 himself is the third and heaviest layer, the one that truly determines if this moment becomes a one-night narrative or a transformation that defines culture. Anyone can tag anyone since anyone can provide a caption. Every day, the internet performs this a million times. Additionally, the other side never moves, so most of the time nothing happens. However, as soon as 50 reposted that flyer and tagged Remy again, the loop closed, the handshake took place, and the signal got back, and once 50 sends back a signal, the discussion is officially on the table. Now, every blog, podcast, Instagram page, X account, and YouTube channel that has been capitalizing on this rivalry for views will have to reset their entire content calendar overnight as soon as we receive the visual confirmation and a single high-quality photo of Remy and 50 in the same frame appears on the timeline. A real-time rewrite of the story is about to begin. The loud, messy, opportunistic characters who attempted to insert themselves into a story that was never theirs in the first place are the only ones who lost out on that rewrite. At this point, we must discuss the messiest figure in this timeline. The name that everyone is suddenly thinking about but hasn't yet said aloud. Papoose. Because anyone who wants to understand how we got to this point, it needs to keep in mind how the story began. 50 Cent wasn't the first. Remy wasn't the first. Began with a remark. 50 made a straightforward, innocuous public remark beneath one of Ray's pictures when she revealed a new appearance following a noticeable weight drop. a remark that, by all accounts, supported her makeover. Additionally, Papoose's husband chose to crash out rather than let the moment unfold as it should have, allowing two adult artists from the same culture to have a polite public conversation. Made the decision to personalize it. Chose to turn a layup of a compliment into a multi-week public controversy that, in retrospect, only benefited the bloggers. Here's the thing with that particular moment. Papoose was never at 50 Cent's level. Commercially, he was never on Remy's level. He never served as executive producer for a multinational television powerhouse. He never had the kind of brand portfolio, catalog, or bag that would even make a battle with 50 legitimate. Nevertheless, he decided to enter the ring and swing from a featherweight stool at a heavyweight. Furthermore, the comments beneath the post did not cause the actual harm at that time. The true harm was that it dragged Remy, the real star, the real artist, the real person with everything to lose, into a conflict that she did not initiate or require. In order to capitalize on the attention that other rappers had gained from going at 50, Papoose and the woman the streets have been calling his mistress for months decided to crawl right back into the spotlight by attaching themselves to a completely different 50 Cent storyline. This is how the pattern repeats itself in 2026. Wishing that some of that smoke would drift back toward them and revitalize a name that the society had quietly ceased searching for. And that's what makes tonight so amazing. Because his wife, the real star of the household, was stealthily returning to the same business venture that 50 Cent used to establish his new empire, while Papoose was preoccupied with pursuing relevance. The queen was inside retrieving the keys as the husband was hurling rocks at the throne. That is more than just a flyer, so take a moment to process that. That's a claim. Additionally, the statement is more powerful than any back and forth blog article, podcast soundbite, or subtweet could ever be. As Papoose takes that body shot, a name that no one anticipated entering the scene so loudly, so publicly, and so quickly completes the second layer of tonight's plot. The Black Captain is Easy. A few hours ago, Easy tagged Remy directly in a post on his own Instagram stories that had a heart emoji floating next to the words, "Help me wish my love a happy birthday." Remy secretly reposted it a few hours later. No lengthy caption. Just the repost, no explanation. The streets have been telling a completely different story for the past few weeks, thus the entire history turned its head at the same precise position. The notion that Remy and Easy were no longer together had been circulating throughout the streets. The notion that he was going through a difficult period, that he was experiencing, that there was finality, that there was distance, and that the chapter was ended has been propagated by the streets. I am unable to verify any of those rumors at this time. I'm not active in the fight rap scene. I have no insider information on those who are close to him. A highly specific picture of a falling out was portrayed by other voices that were purportedly close to him, allegedly connected to a derogatory remark made about Papoose that was the last straw. The public-facing version of that story doesn't look anything like what the streets were selling tonight. Thus, it is said that the conclusion is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that paragraph for a purpose. In tonight's public-facing version, Easy declares his love for Remy. Remy is reposting the public-facing version tonight. Are they together, then? Do they not go together? Since it's her birthday and adults are capable of acting for a single evening, are they acting peacefully for the cameras? While the blogs ran wild with outdated information, are they subtly getting back in sync? I'm not sure. To be completely honest with those who are viewing this video, I don't really care because Easy the Black Captain, with all due respect to him personally, isn't the talk of the town tonight. This evening's headline has the Bronx Empress entering the Curtis Jackson realm on her birthday while grinning and captioning her photo. Additionally, all other subplots are merely incidental to the main action. These two are more than just two well-known rappers. Therefore, if you truly want to know why this Remy 50 frame will go viral on the internet as soon as it appears, you must comprehend who they are in the culture. Just by being in the same phrase, they are two of the very few individuals in this entire sector who have the ability to change the algorithm. Over the past 10 years, 50 Cent has transformed the chronology into his own coliseum. Before the screenshot even loads, every post goes viral, every repost gets weaponized, and every subtweet trends. Conversely, Remy Ma has been one of the most esteemed lyricists in the room for her whole career. Someone whose writing has brought her flowers from every hip-hop period. Someone who can masterfully clear a guest verse so that she owns the song by the second bar. Put those two energies together on the same night in the same space on the same stage for the same business endeavor. Additionally, you are no longer hosting a birthday celebration. A cultural ignition is being run by you. This is the portion that no one wants to pronounce. The underlying tale that lies beneath all of this. If I'm being honest, hip-hop has long needed this kind of combination. For far too long, discussions about 50 Cent and women in hip-hop have been diverted onto trivial topics that don't need his attention. Partners, beefs, and side characters that were never on Remy Ma's level have taken over the debate about her and her position in the business for far too long. Both of them subtly reminded society tonight that they are greater than the noise, that the business of this art form is greater than the personal, and that two adults with vision and receipts can sit at the same table and stop the internet from scrolling without ever making a single jab. This was done in the space of one shared flyer and one co-signed caption. I'll also say it loud enough for the people in the back row to hear. In 2026, I would like this pair to release an album. I'm looking for a single. I'd like a feature. I'd like a video. I'd want to take a tour. A power soundtrack moment is what I want. A hot freestyle moment from 1997 is what I desire. The chemistry between these two on the timeline, just in repost form, is already louder than half of the songs charting this week. Therefore, I want the kind of collaboration that fills up an arena before tickets even formally go on sale. Put that energy on a record. Picture that enthusiasm on a stage. On a tour bus, picture that enthusiasm. This might go in countless imaginative ways. The algorithm picks up its keys and leaves the building at the conclusion of each and every one of them. The messy husband, the new partner, the old rumors, the side characters, the purported falling outs, the purported makeups. All of those subplots are merely supporting cast, so go all the way back to the center of tonight. Remy Ma plays the main part tonight. The building that 50 Cent recently transformed into his new empire is tonight's co-star. Times Square is the scene. The lights are on. The carpet has been rolled. The flyer is now active. The caption has been uploaded. The repost has been locked. The picture is all that's left. With the timestamp on this video serving as the receipt, I am calling it now on the record. Before the clock strikes the final hour tonight, a frame will appear on the timeline that will change how people discuss these two artists for the remainder of the year. Perhaps the handshake will be informal. It can be an embrace at the door. Perhaps a side-by-side picture will be taken close to the VIP area. Perhaps it will be a happy group picture with the Bronx as a whole in the background. Whatever form it takes, as soon as it touches down, the discourse, blogs, podcasts, music, and phony insiders who have been promoting the same worn-out story for years all reset. The two individuals who have always understood exactly what they were doing are the only ones still standing tall in the photo. Having said that, I would appreciate it if you, the person who is currently viewing this, could provide your honest opinions in the comments section below. Do you believe that in 2026, Remy and 50 will begin a full-fledged creative collaboration? Do you believe that tonight is a one-time birthday cosign or the start of a larger business initiative? Do you think Papoose will speak up about this or, for once, read the room and remain silent while his wife gets her flowers? Is tonight just a courteous gesture between two people who were formerly close? Or do you think Easy the Black Captain is still involved? The most important question of all, and the one I sincerely want each and every one of you to consider, is this. If you could choose one cooperation to result from this entire alignment, what would it be? A single, a tour, a film, a cameo in a power spin-off, or a residency in the nightlife? Tell me everything, since this video's comment area will be just as fun as the evening itself. Press the like button as hard as you can. Promote this video as if everyone on your timeline is viewing it. Give it to the one friend who has been requesting this get-together for years. If you're new to this site, hit the subscribe button. Additionally, press the notification bell to be the first person to know the next time the timeline tilts. The road ends there. The queue ends there. That's the last word for tonight. And believe me when I tell you that the entire discussion around Remy Ma, 50 Cent, Papoose, and all of the nasty side characters surrounding this tale will look quite different by tomorrow morning than it did when you hit play on this video. And when everything changed till the following one, you were among the first people in the room. Remain confined, remain noisy, and never forget. We never sleep, and neither does the timeline.